Good morning, Gator families. My name is Alexander Keene, and it's good to be coming back to you again today to talk to you about what's happening in Week 8 and a little bit about Week 9 in English Language Arts here at Whitewater Middle. I hope that you've had a great couple weeks since the last time I spoke to you. I've gotten some great feedback, and I really do appreciate it. So let's get into it, shall we? Here are those important links again, how you can help your student be successful. If you haven't been getting access to Parent Square, those messages recently, they are super duper useful, and I would recommend prioritizing that one. I will also note that students were asked a few weeks ago at this point to pick out a novel from Sora that is connected to our work with A Long Walk to Water. Some teachers are placing more stock in that than others. I am just kind of gently reminding students to be reading that when they have some downtime. Other teachers are taking that a little bit more seriously. You may want to check in Canvas to see if your individual teachers being a little bit more intentional with their use of that novel, or if it's just meant to be an independent reading thing for part of the 40 book challenge. So this week we are actually starting the last thing we're going to be doing with Unit 2. I know it feels like we just started Unit 2 like a week and a half ago, because we did, but I'm really excited about this project here. This is our first piece of formal writing for the year. Students will be asked to write a research paper. The topic of that paper will change based on your student's course. Students in the standard course will be focusing on understanding what's going on with Salva's story and how that story has changed or not from his real life experience to what happened to him in the novel. Students will be researching what it was actually like to be in the Sudan at that point in time, and trying to compare that to the events as they're described in the story. More advanced students may be focusing a little bit more on why the author may have made those changes. However, our honors students will be doing a slightly different project. They will also be writing an informative essay that focuses on A Long Walk to Water, but in a different way. Those students will be focusing instead on an independent research project where they are choosing a country or a region that is experiencing water scarcity today, and they will be writing a compare and contrast essay to show how that is similar or different to what was going on in the Sudan and in Salva's life. So a little bit more in depth there. Also, depending on which teacher your student has for their honors class, they may be asked to do a presentation, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the unit, probably next week. So that's not something that we need to be worrying about right this moment. This week, teachers are in one of a couple places, but the vast majority of students this week will be focusing on authorial intent. We're going to start off by taking a look at some changes that Ms. Parks made to Salva's story and discussing why those may have been made. Then we're going to spend some time doing some research. Students have been doing research on this topic for the past week or so to prep for the mid-unit assessment last week, although not all of them have been quite as focused on this topic as we would like, so we're going to spend some time just kind of refocusing. Students will also work on planning an introduction and writing a focus statement. No actual writing for their essay will be done this week. And some students will be working on body paragraphs this week, but most groups will be starting body paragraphs next week. I do want to point out that there's an early dismissal this week on Wednesday the 7th, which is one of the reasons why not all groups will get to body writing. It depends on what specific teachers are doing with that half day to make that work out. Your students should be getting a copy of the schedule for Wednesday from their homeroom teacher today, but essentially they will have every class that day for 40 minutes as opposed to the hour and 10 minutes or so. So they'll be done around lunchtime, and then we'll move on from there. So next week, the 12th through the 16th, week number 9, students will be focusing on finishing those research projects. They'll be planning body paragraphs if they haven't already, as well as talking about what conclusions are for and planning that out as well. The end of unit assessment here actually is the process of drafting getting peer feedback, and then revising their actual and proper essay. That is the research or the end of unit assessment here. Many classes will be working on that at the end of next week, and so I'll have more information for you on that next time around. But so far, that's all I've got for you. I am very much looking forward to your feedback on this video. If you have any, please be sure to send it to me either here in Parent Square or on via email or Canvas or whatever way is best for you to get in touch with me. I would like to mention very quickly that the end of the unit is coming up not in week 9 that I was just discussing, but in week 10. So you will be getting information from the grade level team about conferences happening on the 20th. I just want to throw that out there in advance, that there will be parent-teacher conferences on the 20th of October, which is not this week and not next week, but the week after that. So again, thank you for all of your help and support over the last couple weeks. We very much appreciate it, and we know that your students do as well. Have a great day. Be well. Do good.